know, but what you cooking, man?
What's up, boys? How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
What's going on?
In the house, everybody. Oh, boys, listen, hey, I got good news. Listen, not only did we have a successful Broker Carrier Summit last week, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But I went to the orthopedic doctor yesterday for my 2-month checkup after getting diagnosed with a frozen shoulder. And according to the doctor, I have made, quote, significant progress in overcoming this. I got 1 more month of physical therapy, one time a week, plus, home activities, home remedies, exercises. And I might be cleared for all activities. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So doing much better. The doctor came in.
Thawing out. You're thawing out.
Thawing out. That's correct. The doctor came in and said, hey, do this. He's like, put your hands up like this. And so I did that. And he goes, wow, you couldn't do that 2 months ago. 2 months ago, it was like this. I'm thinking, see, 2 months ago, I can do this. I go up and it was like this. That's as far as I can go. And now I can go pretty much almost all the way up, which is great. Still a little tenderness, but we're working that out. So a lot of good things. But listen, the big news is we got to see you guys last week in Indianapolis at the Broker Carrier Summit. Not only did we do some Iron Minds workouts, Nick, you brought the fire on stage. Got to tell you, man, I was backstage I was fired up, man. I couldn't wait to run out. In fact, I feel so bad, dude, because you were like, you said thank you or whatever your kind of ending was. I can't remember. I have to look it up again what your ending was. But I went out on stage, because we're going to have a conversation. I look over, and, dude, everybody's standing up. Standing ovation for Nick Klingensmith at the Broken Carrier Summit. So you lit a fire into people. That was for sure, man. You really brought it. Great job. Great speech. I shouldn't have expected anything less.
I definitely appreciate our good friend Michael Lombard, as well as some other friendlies in the crowd that helped that day. But it was exciting to be out there, man. It definitely was. And for the record, I wore a shirt almost the entire time.
That's true. I don't think I saw you without a shirt on. At least, maybe some people did, but I didn't see you without a shirt on. So.
And see, that was like half the reason most people were coming to BCS, Nick, was to see you without your shirt off, man, and you let them all down.
That's why nobody recognized me.
That's exactly right. That's good.
Get a shirt on, a badge, no headband. Nobody knew.
I do feel bad we didn't go live for the workouts last week. So, I appreciate everybody tuning in, but that's what it's a highlight. I want to get to Nick's speech in a minute, but I did put it in my caption on Instagram. As far as I know, you'd have to fact check or verify it, but it was the first conference where sanctioned on the agenda. Fitness was on the agenda. And I just thought I think that's one of the most powerful flexes is that it was on the agenda website on there that we were able to do it. And in that second day was a little bit lighter to be expected. I don't blame anybody, but still good group of people who came out that morning. I loved leading that, and now I'm confident for the next one and for future ones. It's just as simple as putting out the bat signal beforehand instead of waiting till the conference. Hey, who's going to get up at 5 a.m. I think just having it on the schedule, kind of get and talking about it beforehand hypes it up. But yeah, Nick's speech was definitely something for the ages. That is something everybody in the industry needs to see. Carriers and brokers, drivers, everybody. That is an industry-wide speech, especially the end. When it talks about it brought it all together. when it comes to community, when it comes to when it comes to like the entire mission of Broken Carrier Summit, like when it comes like of how like we are the community, like how it is like all one team.
Yeah.
Like it was perfect, man. That was
Team, finding your tribe. Yeah, Nick really captured that, and I almost feel guilty. I feel like maybe it was my fault that day 2 was lighter because I happened to do late night karaoke on Wednesday night, and it crushed. We went till about 12:30 singing karaoke, so it was definitely a quick turnaround on Thursday morning. But there were a lot of people who said, "Oh man, I wanted to get up," or "I thought about getting up," or "Man, I'm bummed I missed it." So I think you're right, Mike. Having it on the agenda and making it an official part of the summit was pretty cool. People saw it, they thought about it, it got them thinking.
The press that it got outside the conference is where I think it may actually, could have an impact on others. Hopefully, somebody throwing the next thing says, "Hey, let's add it to the agenda," and just hopefully everybody, instead of just randomly working out.
Yeah, I think you're right, because you'll get some people that show up at the gym in the morning. But what was nice about it was that we had space. I know, you guys put together a nice 5K trail outside. We had one indoors as well in case the weather was bad. But it's like it just brought everybody together a little bit. People talked about it on Tuesday night, like, "Hey, you coming tomorrow morning?" So I think you're right, Michael. That was a big thing happening for sure.
Yeah, Pedro, you're definitely missed out there. It was good, and you could tell. I loved the reactions on LinkedIn from people. There's a lot of energy coming. There's a lot of energy coming off of this BCS conference. It was the biggest one, most attendees, more carriers, more brokers all the way around. There is something in motion that's speeding up. I mean, it's like a comet. It's just like getting faster and faster and faster. It's huge.
I agree. 560 attendees. It's pretty exciting to have everybody there. The old historic Union Station building, downtown Union. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that building was. It was definitely haunted, but it was very cool.
Definitely haunted. And thanks to our friends over at Chain, Annalise, Sandu, and the crew over there, Chris and Kevin, for sponsoring the Iron Minds workouts. I'm wearing the shirt this morning because I want to give them some love. So
yeah, my shirt.
But that was cool.
My shirt's got to get folded. Yeah, big shout out to Annalise out there. I told her it was great to be able to reconnect with her. I saw her at Manifest, but I was like telling her, you are main character energy in this industry with her attitude. Not only just what they're doing at Chain, because I think it's really, I think their company's really great. I think their story is powerful. Like her and her husband, having been a motor carrier and then going into kind of the tech space, but then not only that, doing kind of what we're doing, where as a company and her as a leader and a founder, promoting this, this culture of health and wellness and fitness and how important it is. She's really big on mindfulness, big time practicing meditation. And we were talking about meditation. What's crazy is, meditation sounds like one of those real crunchy habits people get into, but it's one of the oldest forms of wellness. People have been meditating for you look at the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, you look at, essentially up until probably, the 20th century, meditating was common for everybody to do, to just think, to just take control of your thoughts, to regain a little bit more control over you regain control of your thoughts and stuff. And when I think about it for this industry, it's if you could take 30 minutes and absolutely disconnect and just recognize, because that's what it's all about. It's about self-awareness. And as we were talking about it, I was like, wow. I was like, there is so much, because when you can get to that level of self-awareness, because meditation, you'll never get perfect. You're never going to.
Well, that's why it's called practice, right? You practice meditation, you practice yoga, things that are always going to be part of the lifelong journey.
Exactly. It's good. But yeah, she is a leader in this space who's going to without a doubt, be a big part of changing the culture, which I'm excited to see. Which also another quick motivation. I mean, Nick and I seeing a little bit of the ripple effect. You know, Nick and I are going to do that race in September, and you know we're doing it with Alex Bates, and we connected with a gentleman who saw Alex Bates is now signing up for races and doing stuff, and this gentleman saw Alex, and he's like, "Man, it's time for me to lock in."
That's right. That's right. It snowballs. You know, you start to realize, hey, I've been making excuses. I've been putting this off. You start to see other people do stuff. It's like, man, I can do it. I can go now. I can go. So it's huge. Building this community is huge. Encouraging one another, inspiring one another. It's all really important.
You never really know who you're impacting, because Alex didn't know that guy had signed up for races. We're the ones who told him, and so you never really know. There might be people out there right now who are changing their lives and not telling you about it.
Yeah. Yep. It's huge. And again, it's like, as you talked about, Nick, you know, like finding your tribe and finding people that can help you get where you need to go. Part of it is you have to make a decision, no doubt about it. But man, how much easier is that decision when you have people around you that are inspiring you by their actions and encouraging you by their words? Man, it's, you know, it makes all the difference in the world.
That's you know, that's been a lot of the points I've been trying to drive home about this, especially on the driver's side, is, you know, I had posted a video recently, you know, especially coming off of the race. Like, I thanked a lot of people for donating to Project 61, but I was, you know, reiterating the numbers about how, you know, just for the driver's side, rates of chronic disease being double that of the rest of the working class population. You know, the average life expectancy being 61. And the thing is those numbers are just not okay, but it's not, this isn't an individual issue we're talking about here. We're not talking about something that you can bring down. It's environmental and basically systemic. And what that means is you need it, like the environment doesn't enable the lifestyle. The environment enables those data points, like those, the environment enables that level of metabolic dysfunction, and to change it, you need to change it really from within and from the top down. It can't be a bottom up change. It's got to be the leaders of the industry recognizing, oh, this is a problem, this needs to change, and it needs to enable, and there needs to be a support system in place that is being like, hey, we're doing it, you got to be doing it. You know, this is something that's not just for fun. Like, this is a requirement.
Yeah, just getting that peer pressure, you know, that positive peer pressure to get people involved and just get moving. You know, it's so critical. I think that was the biggest thing that we talked about on Wednesday and Thursday last week, was just get moving. Like, even on Thursday, we didn't do anything crazy. We did a couple stretches, did a couple of movements, but it was just the fact that we were up, got us going for the day, made us a little bit sharper in the morning. You know, just there's so many benefits to it from that. It was huge.
You know, the irony of that too, though, that workout on Thursday, it was almost like prep work for being at a conference. You know, we were working the muscles that were largely going to be dormant all day by sitting and just attending.
True. Hamstrings. Yeah.
So activating the glutes, activating the hamstrings, activating the core. You know, that's a great daily practice. I mean, even on the days I don't work out, I still do my 20-minute range of motion exercise, because I want to be able to move my arms when I'm 60.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, because when you think about it, like, we just sit all day. We're not really activating, basically from here down to kind of our knees. We're not really activating the muscles. We're just sitting there. So, anyways, it was good. And the whole conference, I think, you know, the whole was pretty cool. We've been starting to hear some feedbacks of, you know, what happened. We've got our recap show, The Road to the Summit, on Thursday, and it's packed with people who are talking about their experience. There's one broker, Sean Parker from Bay & Bay, who had a great post yesterday talking about the event and what it did for him. Man, it's amazing. They awarded $470,000 worth of freight to carriers at the summit.
Wow.
Like, already gave out almost, $500,000 in freight to carriers at the summit. So if you're a truckload carrier out there and you're wondering, is it worth it going to the Broker Carrier Summit for 2 or 3 days? 100%. It is. We see this every time. We see carriers who are awarded freight, not just onboarded as a new carrier, but actually tendered loads at the summit. And that's what it's really all about, is finding partners. I mean, they sit down at luncheon lanes and they talk, for a half an hour and get to know each other, and they're not rushed to do it. They can actually sit and enjoy the conversation and get to know people. And then it makes sense. Like, you know what? I have freight on that lane. I'd like to give you a shot. Here you go. I'm gonna send this over to your dispatcher, and work together. So it was just really neat to see that, along with all of the other speakers that were there, the breakout sessions, the learning labs. I think we're fire, even though the rooms were a little hot. Couldn't get the AC figured out on Tuesday just yet. But even though it was a little hot, the rooms were great, fully attended, packed out. Just a lot of good things came out of it, man. I was really excited about it.
Out of all the conferences I've ever been to, this one holds the hype as far as saying that it's designed for networking, because it literally was designed for networking.
Yeah, that's the primary objective. And it's like, even though sometimes it's a bummer that not everybody's in the main session or not everybody's in breakout sessions, the reason they're not in those sessions is because they're having conversations. Yeah. They're networking in the hallways. They're sitting in a little pocket and talking through business, talking through life. So it's one of those things where it's like, kind of a bummer sometimes that not everybody is in the session, but it's for a good reason. They're actually networking and getting a lot done. We had Governor Mike Braun there talking about his experience in transportation. Michael, were you in that session with Governor Braun?
No, I was on my way over to the DOT inspection.
That's right. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember when you were doing that or not. The DOT inspections, I was there with you. That was pretty cool. We've never done that either. That was the first time thing.
Yeah, and when it came to that DOT inspection, again, I haven't been to TIA. I don't know what it's like, but it's like a no-brainer. It's one of those things. It's like, oh, of course we should do this. Of course, if we're at this, logistics conference, because that's the thing with all these conferences, and I said it about Manifest, like any conference, it's not a truck show like Matt's. Like the only reason why any company, any brokerage exists is because of the trucks. Like, there are no freight brokerages without trucks. So something like TIA should be having that. Like, there should be a focus on that side for just for information, channeling a little bit of Adam Wingfield. Like, the education doesn't stop. Like, education does not stop. Like, you can get and when it comes to, on the brokerage side, like, there's always ways to get better. And I'm sure there's better ways to get at sales and building relationships. But the ways to get better is by continuing to learn about the other side. I bring this right back to my job in the Marines. Like, so doing fire direction control for artillery, like we not only knew our job, like how to calculate firing data, we had to know the job of the cannoneer and the job of the forward observer. Like, so like what observers were doing, how they got grids, like how they did a call for fire. And at the same time, we need to know the same nomenclature of rounds, propellant, and all the other information that cannoneers knew. Like, to be great at FDC, you need to know everything about field artillery, so that way you're a better communicator. You get to, because you're talking to the gun line and to observers all the time. Like, that's the only way to get accurate fire, is because you're talking to observers and you've got to communicate to the gun line. So you've got to know both of those jobs at the same time, and that's what's going to make your FDC is going to be that much stronger if you're able to communicate and know the jobs of the observers and the cannoneers. And I think the same thing applies in it. Like, if you're a driver, getting to know what it is like on the brokerage side, getting to know that. I made a video about that on TikTok years ago when I was still driving. I said, like, if you could know their, like, if when it comes to your dispatcher or fleet manager, if you know their job better than they do, what does that look like for you as a driver, for you as a leader? And same thing if you're a broker, same thing if whatever you're doing, like, if you know other people's jobs, or if you've done it better than they do, it's like, how does that, like, what does that look like? What is an environment? What does a professional environment like that look like? Yeah,
it's huge. And so many people I talked to at the DOT inspections, look, I've never seen this before. I had no idea. They were able to ask questions from Sergeant Ford. So I thought did a phenomenal job. That guy was solid. He's been in his job for about 20 years with the Indiana State Patrol. I mean, it was eye-opening just to see that and to experience it. What these drivers go through sometimes when they're pulled over for an inspection. Sometimes, it's something simple and it's no big deal. At times it takes them out of service. What I was really shocked to find out was that when they pull somebody over for a violation, speeding or something like that, 9 out of 10 times they find an out of service violation. That's crazy. That's pretty wild to think about, you know? And what's also crazy is that brokers have gotten into this rhythm of using the number of inspections to qualify a truck. Like if they have more inspections, they're more qualified.
Yeah,
and it's
don't-
such a
no
flawed
inspection,
metric.
they just assume it's fraud.
Yeah, it's such a such a flawed metric to go off of roadside inspections as being a qualified driver. Because Michael, you said it. You drove for what, 3 years, and you got pulled over 4 times total. I think you said, or 3 times total. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
I've been put like one time it was just like through an inspection station where it was just like a quick level 1, like, and that was going through like you had to exit. That was near San Antonio, and then another time, I was driving north on 35, and cops were just pulling guys in for they were pulling guys in for level 2s. They were just like that. They would probably just do it, and they do that at a rest area a lot, and that was it. Other than that, any weigh station, and it's even the most oversized load I have, any weigh station I went into, never an inspection, never like I only got pulled over off 35 once because they were just getting everybody just pulling in level 2s like randomly.
And Sergeant Flores confirmed that if you request an inspection, they're not going to give it to you. So if that's the metric to qualify a carrier, and a carrier can't even get an inspection without doing something potentially wrong, wow, such a flawed metric. But it was interesting to learn the difference between an annual inspection and a roadside inspection. And I think they should change the terminology. They should probably call it like an annual evaluation or something. So use a different word than inspection, because it gets confusing. It's like, I mean, even brokers there were like, well, "What about the annual inspection? Does that count?" And he's like, "No, that's different. That's not on that's not on the FMCSA." So
yeah, the annual inspection is essentially like the same one you'd get depending on your state. Like if you like to register your car, like you're just like you get like that yearly emissions check, or it's similar to that. And yeah, you can get that at a Southern Tire Mart or Love's or Flying J, and it's like they're pretty cheap. But yeah, they don't, even that doesn't do it. You'd think it would. Or that's another thing.Maybe it's not that they need to separate it, but the annual inspection should be something that you can that does show that you're keeping up with the truck. Like that's something that I think maybe the industry should just recognize, that the annual inspection is on the same level, because again, like there's guys who drive for a decade without ever getting a level 3. Like it's just there's just too many trucks and not enough cops to give you level 3s for every single truck on the road.
Right. But that was, I thought that was a really great addition to the summit, that in the future we'll be able to do those in the parking lots of the hotel. Obviously, this hotel being old, being downtown, and being around a construction zone, we weren't able to do that. But we'll be able to do that moving forward, which I think is going to be really great. It's just continually eye-opening for brokers. And I was thinking about the other side. What could we do to help carriers understand freight brokerage? What can we do there? Maybe there's a session that we need to have that's kind of a repetitive session of, hey, here's a day in the life of a freight broker, for carriers to understand that as well. So I just want to make sure that, both sides are getting a chance to understand what the other side's all about. You know what I mean?
There's a huge opportunity that, because we did the DOT inspection at R2X, and I almost think just like a demo day, or if there was like a certain time slot, like depending, obviously it's very hard, like depending on where you are because of the location of the conference, but with R2X being right there, I mean, it would have been cool to get carriers to just go in and sit in with a broker, and like with the staff at R2X,
for
like
an hour.
Hey, what you like? Just seeing what that side of the computer screen looks like, seeing like what it looks like being at that desk.
Maybe that is it. Maybe we find a broker that's close to the hotel in Orlando.
I was going to say,
we have shuttles that take them there for an hour. Right, we take them there for an hour and let them just experience that, or maybe it's a session or something. We'll have to figure that out. But anyways, it's a lot of cool stuff that came out of this summit. The golf tournament went really well. Late night karaoke was a hit. Pedro, we missed you for that, man. Late night karaoke, man.
Did
People came out.
tour at the whatchamacallit?
The tour where?
Because
At Delara, the manufacturing facility. I did not do the tour. I really kind of stayed out of it until everybody got through, and then I missed it. So I did not get to see that, which is definitely a bummer. But at the same time, a lot of people did, so it was really cool. So that was pretty fun having a kind of an end of summit party and all that. So yeah, I think the main feedback that we've gotten so far is that the hotel had some issues with like air conditioning and stuff is old. And that was unfortunate. Oh, ants. That's good. Okay, good feedback. Great. And then the other was that maybe it was a little too long. The week was too long. I need to try to maybe go back to a shortened, more abbreviated schedule. So some things got to work on. But overall, I felt like you hit a couple home runs, had a couple swings and misses. But overall, it's pretty good. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but I've done 2 sets of push-ups this morning. And this week is the first week that I've been doing push-ups in almost 6 months. And I'm excited to be back because I love push-ups. One of my favorite activities. But the shoulder's actually feeling good. I did 2 sets of 5, which again, it's not a lot. I normally do a lot more, or I used to do a lot more, I should say. But I'm just excited to be doing them. I mean, you don't realize how much you love something until it gets taken away. And that's how I feel about push-ups. And no pain. So super excited about that, doing push-ups with no pain. Did a couple pull-ups with very limited pain. That's obviously going to take a little bit longer with just the motion that we're doing, the stress putting on the shoulder. Oh man, good stuff.
I put that truth bomb in that reel yesterday. I put on Instagram, which I'm going to post that video onto LinkedIn today. And it's just a hard truth about like the price of not locking in. Like if you don't make this part of your lifestyle. And I was having a really great coaching call with a driver about this yesterday, where essentially like I said it on my stories after, where like I think the number one most taken for granted thing besides the supply chain in this country is your autonomy. Your autonomy is it's taken for granted every single day, whether you like know it or not. But just the ability to do those daily tasks, whether it be like I remember I broke a small bone in my foot in 7th grade, and like somebody's got to help you carry your books. And if you ever had an injury where like tore your ACL or like even my mom had bunion surgery, and I know a couple people who've had that, where you got to be on that scooter, and things are just so like just those little things, and it's like just you losing the ability, like if you have that bunion surgery, just being off like one leg for a while, not being able to do anything, like how drastically your life changes and how just dependent you become on like the littlest things. It's so slept on. And the truth is that it's going to come a lot sooner. Like not when you like if it happens in your 60s, right. Like at that stage of your life, your 50s and 60s. And I know I'm not there yet, but in your 50s and 60s, that's when you're going to want to walk your kid down the aisle, do all these things. And if you are a dependent,
pick up your grandkids, throw them around, all those things.
To not be able to do that, just getting up the stairs without being winded, like being able to be outside and not be out of breath for certain things. Like there's so much of your autonomy that people would hate to lose, and it's just and obviously like we are all going to die, but again, there's that difference between health span and lifespan. It's like you can live to 90 today, but if the last 15 years up until 90 is you absolutely like struggling everything, and you've got to be weighted on hand and foot, like is it really that worth it? And your family's going to keep you alive because they want you around, but it's going to be absolutely miserable to do that. And it's with 100% preventable, and it's just and it doesn't require going to Ironman. It just requires small different lifestyle changes
and just moving, keeping it moving.
Dude, I already have a 72-point checklist before I leave the house, before I go to bed. And at 46, I'm looking down the road another 40 years and just thinking, how much more do I need to add? Am I going to have to add to my daily routine just to get through the day? So yeah, I'm taking ownership of what I can while I can. And you know what? I use my legs every day. So of course I'm going to spend time on my health. I want to continue to do so. I've been on crutches before when I had surgery. I had the shoulder surgery, the hip surgery. I've broken thumbs. And you know what I'm talking about when I say that level of inconvenience.
Yeah.
So
those that's true.
And we can do things.
Michael, I like what you said about health span versus lifespan. Man, that's such a great point, because man, like just having life It doesn't necessarily mean that it's quality or that it's productive for you or for other people. But having health, on the other hand, that's a big difference. What is your health span? What's your health age? What's your, what are you doing to take care of yourself in that regard? So that's a great note to end the day on. Pedro, it looks like it's light out there now. Sun's starting to come out. Not getting rained on.
Dude, I got a few drizzles, but I just found a tree for like 3 minutes. So it's
Yep. Pedro, we missed you last week, my friend. Your shirt is in the mail. You should get that soon. So hopefully you can wear that next week on the show if you want. How are you doing on your progress? I know you're making some really great progress, and it's been a couple weeks since we've had a chance to chat.
Yeah, man. I'm doing great. Last week wasn't so good, man. They upped my dose on this med I'm on, and man, one of the side effects I wasn't expecting with me being ADHD was tiredness. Dude, even after working out, I would go to the gym, come home, and want to take a nap. So last week was not good. Seeming to be okay this week. Haven't shared it, but I hit my goal of being under 290 by the end of April. I have held.
Bury the lead.
I've held under 290 since Thursday. When I weighed myself yesterday, it was 288.1. So
nice.
Yeah, man.
Now we got
chopping.
Now we got the next one. What's the next mark? What are we going for next?
Dude, I'm doing another 10 pound increments, man. 270 is where I'm going. My end is 250, man. Like, I could lose more than that, but if I can get there, I will be over the moon proud of myself. That'll be almost 100 pounds of weight loss in less than a year. So, yeah.
Hey, Jessica, yes, you can buy one of these shirts if you go to supplychainswag.com and go to the sample stores tab up top and click on Broken Carrier Summit, and you'll find this shirt on the store. You can purchase that right now. So, yes, absolutely, you can purchase one of these shirts. Sponsored by our friends over at Chain, so you can officially be a part of the Iron Minds crew at BCS. Great to see you. We missed you, my friend. Hopefully, we'll see you in Orlando. We should get into Orlando, October 28th through 30 for.
Keep going, Pedro.
Ooh,
Keep
going. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal.
Ooh, that could be good. That could be fun. I know that Universal has the Harry Potter world and a lot of other stuff, so that could be a lot of fun. We're going to be looking for a place for our loaded and rolling party, which may happen on Wednesday night this time instead of Thursday night. So we'll have to see that. Supplychainswag.com. Supplychainswag.com. Go to the sample stores tab, just click on Broken Carrier Summit, and you'll see the shirt right in there.
I don't know about you,
should see it.
I don't know about you, but I'm sweating this morning. This is a great way to prime the day. Like 30 minutes, low impact riding the Peloton. Already broke out a sweat. I'm already wide awake.
Get started. Yep, my shoulder's feeling good. Man, that's like I haven't done this motion without pain in months. So man, I'm really excited to see
autonomy,
mobility, man.
That autonomy,
so good.
Just being able to go like this is freedom. And people,
almost all the way up there from the sides, all the way up from this front here. So yeah, it's getting good. Boys, hey, listen, I appreciate you guys. Let's keep it up. Pedro, we're gonna have a great week this week, man. It's gonna be a great week, dude.
Yeah, it is, bro. Sure is.
Yep, absolutely. Good morning, Super Trucker. Good to see you, my friend. We will see you guys on the flip-flop. Iron Minds, people. Hey, listen, as you know, iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Find your tribe, find your group after today, and we'll see you guys real soon. Peace out.